From Cypress, California, David Libby. San Diego, California, Ed Hightower from Alton, Florida. The winner to play Arkansas for the national championship Monday night. Parks back to Collins, and Duke gets underway with Capel.
Let's see the matchup. It looks like it's Brown on Hill.
And DeClerc reaches right in, commits the foul on Parks.
Jim, I thought that matchup would be Thompson to guard Grant Hill. And then maybe it was just a switch. Let's look for that early.
DeClerc and Parks actually went on a recruiting trip to Duke together when they were in high school. DeClerc was told that he was probably 6 or 7 on Duke's list. The likes of Glenn Robinson, Chris Webber, Cherokee Parks on Mike Krzyzewski's wish list. He says, hey, I can't blame him. One guy's already in the NBA, and probably 3 or 4 other guys that signed with him will be too.
Exactly, and to be 7th on a list with a coach he said was honest to me that they were only going to take 5 meant that somebody had to pull out for him. Cherokee Parks liked the visit, though. He signed as soon as he got back home. He was ready.
Cross, blocking foul on the baseline against Capel.
Dan Cross, a tremendous penetrator. He's got the body. All SEC performer.
Non-shooting foul, is it? No, they're going to say it wasn't the act of shooting. There's a little confusion.
Well, you know, Capel was ready to guard him. We haven't had many foul shots that have had a defender on the foul shooter.
So give him 2 at the line, Dan Cross.
And Jim, one of the most unusual free throw shots that I have seen. The ball spins. You know, you're the golfer. You know the setup should be the same every time. He does the same thing every time, but very unusual. Spins the ball in his hand and releases before it really comes down and sets in his fingertips.
It's still spinning in his hand as he releases it. Gets 1 of 2.
Going inside, trying to play over the top of Dimitri Hill is Cherokee Parks.
Florida surrounding that rebound. Cross driving, firing, Lang with the rebound. Ahead to Hill in the middle.
The big difference in the Duke team this year. Normally, Bobby Hurley would be the guy in the middle, and then Grant Hill could go ahead and be the finisher. This year, he has had to be the guy on the point. Took away a lot of his flashing, finishing ability.
Foul call, they strip it away. DeClerc couldn't find the handle.
Got to think of where you're throwing that ball. DeClerc has great speed for a man 6'10". Terrific defender coming off the great game against Boston College. But he really, that was almost an impossible catch. Willie Mays style over the top of the head. Back to the days of the say hey kid, but DeClerc is not that kind of center field.
Collins.
And a real key for Duke. Does Collins get off to a fast start with his three-point shooting? That's what they're counting on him for.
He's made only 1 out of 13 in the last 3 games from three-point land. Long rebound to Hill. No field goal in this game so far. Trailer is left. Time for Duke.
Well, those 2 guys have played together for 4 years. There's Bobby Hurley. Normally the guy, as I said, would be in the center of that break. Grant Hill doesn't do a bad job himself.
Called against Florida. We've seen a lot of dunks at the Final Four by Antonio Lang in his career.
Jim, here's 2 fellas that are used to playing with each other. The timing was absolutely perfect on the trailer play for Antonio Lang.
Co-captains.
Good step out. Club is really well drilled defensively. And it is Thompson now on Grant Hill, the matchup that I expected.
Capel dumps it inside. Lang hacked on the way up, they say. Dimitri Hill will be whistled for it.
Jim, I think they're going to call it on Cross.
They are. They
tried
did.
to strip. Yeah.
Okay. So Cross commits it, and what a difference, Billy. 4 tournament appearances for Florida. 11 Final Fours for the Duke program in history.
Well, remember in 87, 88, and 89, those Dwayne Schimpf's teams with Norm Sloan played very well. Lost to Syracuse in the Eastern Regional. They lost to Michigan in 88, and then lost in the opening round to Colorado State in 89.
Put that in perspective, Florida's been to the NCAA tournament 4 times. North Carolina A&T's been 8 times. Tennessee, Chattanooga 6, Furman 6. You know, programs that you would think wouldn't have as many trips.
Well, the reason for it is obviously Kentucky dominated the league for so long. And there's Dimitri Hill using that body of his, the wide body. And I won't put him in the class with Corliss Williamson as far as a talent, and doesn't have the height. But he uses the body to extend the defender, gets off the floor quickly, has soft hands and quick feet for a man that's 270 pounds.
Called that one on Lang for reaching in.
Jim, when we say he has stripped down to 270, how about the story about Lon Kruger seeing him for the first time at, what, 350?
Steve Spurrier, the football coach, saw him the first time and thought he had himself a football recruit.
The middle of the line. Not a good pass by Capel.
Cross read it. Good, no good pass to Clark. Too strong. Off Duke.
See that good block out by Cross? Again, realizing he couldn't go over Lang, blocked him out, made it impossible for Lang to capture the rebound. Duke zoning out of bounds.
Parks steals it.
Nobody underneath the basket. Wise play by Capel to hold it outside. Thompson, very good overplay defender.
Parks really wanting it. Hill held them up for a while, and then Parks too strong.
DeClerc coming over to double team Cherokee. He's got to recognize that somebody had to be open.
Cross, three-pointer. Well, he pulled back out and almost got to shoot a flat-footed three.
Nice Wise play. Dimitri Hill setting a screen, actually occupied 2 defenders trying to get around that big body. Stepping out again. Seeing some solid man-to-man defense.
Boy, are you? Yeah.
Terrific.
They're all over it.
Yes, sir. They have that philosophy that you play your man. He does not beat you on the dribble. They don't do a lot of helping out until a man makes a penetrating move.
Hill outside. The Clark slaps it up off the glass, and Parks clears it.
The other thing that Florida has is excellent defensive balance. When the shot goes up, tough to break against them, and Duke is not a good fast-breaking team. Again, not a natural point man out there for Duke.
That was pretty pure right there, huh?
Well, Grant Hill just setting him up. Thompson expecting him to drive a little further. Tough shot.
Dimitri Hill at the other end. That last basket by Grant Hill moved him ahead of Jeff Mullins on the all-time scoring list at Duke in the 9th place.
Was with Jeff Mullins this morning at the YMCA Yes Clinic for Kids, doing a great job out at UNC Charlotte. Played in 2 Final Fours for Duke, 63 and 64.
Yeah, Florida has the numbers if they want it. Brown pull up. The Clark, beautiful tip.
Now there was a case where Chris Collins tried to be a rebounder instead of blocking out, as we saw Cross do so wisely before, and DeClerc went right over him. It looks like right now Duke expecting Grant Hill, another good step out that time by Dimitri Hill.
Three-pointer.
Well, we talked about the total player, and he has not yet started to work on the inside.
The three-point shot is something he only attempted 3 times his first 2 years in college.
That's right.
This year, almost 100.
And again, primarily because he was the finisher on the break and played in the low post.
There's the meat hut.
and not the shot, if you're Lon Kruger, that you really want. They can get a better shot than that, and particularly to employ Brown to get some shots for him, coming off the big game against BC.
Ooh, they had Parks cutting through the lane. The Clerk got a hand on it. The Clerk right over Lang and one.
Referees tell him to calm down a little bit. But the Clerk, with a great speed that we talked about early on, able to finish off on that break.
This is the second on Lang.
Lang was up there, but the Clerk too strong. And Jim, you know, maybe the biggest play for Florida in this entire tournament was something the Clerk did accidentally. Is getting his foot out and blocking and actually having the ball go off his foot in the JMU game when Dennis Leonard was off to the races, potentially to hit a three to knock Florida out in the opening round.
That was last possession of the game.
That's
Two-point
right.
game. Long rebound to Hill, and now a pull-up. The Clerk.
Florida giving Duke one and done.
Anderson just in off the glass. That's Jason Anderson, 6'4" sophomore from College Park, Georgia.
Just drops off slightly from what Thompson gives them as a defender, but brings a lot more offense to the table.
Eric Meek, Marty Clark have come in for Duke. Clark, number 3, Meek, 52. And a steal. That's the second time Cross on the cross-court pass. Has stolen it, and a travel call. Finally, an official's timeout. 12:51 to go, first half. There's been 5 lead changes, but the Gators here for the first time lead it by 2. For Florida, Svein Dirkobolten from Bergen, Norway.
Greg Williams came in during that timeout as well, so Lon Kruger going to his bench early, keeping a fresh team on the floor.
Greg Williams, number 10, manning up now against Capel.
Cherokee Parks being pushed around in there, but Lon Kruger can afford some fouls off the bench in the low post.
They brought in the low post, the other part of that Scandinavian skyline, Marti Kwiesma.
Duke has not had any semblance of a half-court offense so far because Florida's defense has just shut them out. They're 3 for 9 from the floor, but they have not gotten any kind of shots. They've already got 4 turnovers.
Got to beat the shot clock. Hill blocked by Anderson, and they say they got a piece of the arm. Anderson.
Well, I said Anderson gives up a few inches from what Thompson gives him, but he doesn't fall off much defensively. This club, Jim, was number 1 in defense in the SEC this year, 3rd a year ago, and 1st the year before that. So fundamentally, we saw Arkansas how well they can play. This club led their league, the SEC.
Hill, the MVP of the Southeast Regional, and all ACC, but he was 1 vote shy of being unanimous. I would love to know who did not have him first team all ACC.
And obviously All-American as well.
Yeah. How do you not vote him all ACC?
Well, you know, there are some people, you know.
Marty Clark on Anderson.
Nice job defensively. Parks helping out.
So the only starter on the floor is Cross for Florida.
Nice patience by Florida. But now they get the ball with it under 10 to Cross. He's the finisher.
Good shot. That's a 2-pointer.
Then they call him the delegator, and he does that. You'll see him just have a sense when that clock gets down around 10 that the ball is in his hands.
Marty Clark.
Nothing easy against this team.
Capel hit on the hand when he shot it. Count it, +1.
Capel coming off the great game against Purdue. 35 minutes he was in there, 7 for 12, 3 for 3 in threes, 19 points, 7 assists. It's a game of your life as a college freshman.
Since freshmen became eligible in 1973, Billy, No freshman starting point guard has led a team to a national championship, although Bobby Hurley, who we saw in the stands a little while ago, he got all the way to the final as a freshman. And there's Capel's dad, the coach at North Carolina A&T. Three-point play by Capel puts Duke up 1.
They played a lot of games against a lot of quality competition, but he is a freshman. And, of course, one freshman at least got to the Final Four. And here he is sitting right there, Bobby Hurley and his brother Danny, who we're happy to hear will be playing again next year at Seton Hall. Sat out this year.
Bobby, as a freshman, went all the way to the championship game against UNLV.
And certainly remembers that game.
Yep.
Not one of his better days. UNLV was so great.
Williams saved the backcourt violation.
Here we see the step out. Duke doing a lot of the same things that Florida does defensively as far as their fundamentals are concerned.
Marty Clark called for reaching in on Kuzma.
And Jim, so we don't get any calls. There'll probably be somebody, particularly down in this state, that will say there was a freshman guard that led a team to a national championship, but you were talking about point guards. Exactly.
Point guards.
Of course, we're referring here to the guy that may call in, talking about Michael Jordan. He was just a freshman at the time, back in '82.
Kuzma from Helsinki, Finland. When Ron Kruger first met Kuzma said to him in a little bit of broken English, "I know rebounds."
Well, he also
signed him up.
He also knows shooting. Last year he made 50 of 123 threes, 41%. So he can stroke it from out there and free throws as well.
Yep, seventh lead change already with the 2 free throws from Kuzma. Banging underneath, they're going to call Kuzma with the body on Parks.
Jim, I like this strategy early for Florida, using Kuzma on the inside with Parks. He can afford to foul. He can afford to bang and wear him on down. And here we see DeClercq coming back in the game. Kuzma did exactly what was expected of him.
DeClercq back in, also returning is Brown for Williams.
You kind of get the feeling that Lon Kruger is wanting to play this game to keep it as close as he can, as long as he can, and wear Duke down in the meantime.
And have the starters as fresh as possible down the stretch.
He goes zone out of bounds. No passing lanes available.
Capel.
Not exactly soft. You don't see that kind of shot go back in, and who's it going to be against?
They're going to call push off.
Well, we'll see it here. You see this shot go up, Jim. You very seldom see a shot from the side that hits this hard and gets the sweet kiss off the backboard.
That was a call against Florida's Anderson underneath. I think Duke had resigned itself to the fact the whistle was against them. Well, and they were retreating back to get on defense.
You know, the only guy that seemed to have a handle on all of that was Capel. There's the freshman again. And we certainly didn't see it, but one of the officials did, and that's Anderson's second.
And that's Florida's 7th, so it's a 1-and-1 for Eric Meek.
And Jim, the old trademark from Duke starting to take place early in this game. So far in the tournament, they have shot 107 free throws. The opponents have shot only 54. So they've doubled the output. They've made 78. Imagine this, Duke in 4 games has made 78 free throws. Their opponents have only shot 54. They're getting the line often and early already here today.
That is the 9th attempt already for Duke in the game's first 9.5 minutes.
Back to the original starting lineup is Florida.
Cross three-pointer. Boy, he's on early.
Perfect rotation on the shot. Clark did not get out there. He's too dangerous a scorer to leave that wide open.
DeClercq reaches around, makes the steal.
Grant Hill gave that away, kind of telegraphed the pass.
Brown.
Nice foul. Didn't get the shot.
He thought he made up. DeClercq, two-pointer inside the arc. What a motion he plays with.
Right now, Florida getting better shots at the basket than is Duke.
Florida back in front. Someone got a piece of him.
I think Grant Hill is way beyond his years in terms of his ability to draw the foul. As soon as he felt the contact, he let the ball go. It was almost incidental, but he drew a two-shotter here.
Brian Thompson's second. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Hill. Part of that senior success with Lang and Clark. 17-and-1 record they've amassed in the NCAA.
But Jim, think about something here. The three seniors have a chance to do something. You have to go way back to Larry Farmer.
Last guy to win three national championships,
right?
71 through 73.
Correct. 1973, and people think maybe, well, how about Walton? Well, he didn't play as a freshman. He was defeated as a senior. And Kareem, who we saw earlier watching the ball game, of course, not only was involved in 3 championships, but 3 times the MVP. Playing way out on Cross. Cross will take Collins if he's that far away.
Cross. 3-pointer strong. Here's Brown. Dumps it to Dimitri Hill.
Nice teamwork.
We've already had 9 lead changes in this game.
Grant Hill will have a hard time beating a guy like Brown that far away from the basket. He has not been able to post up low yet today.
Cherokee turnaround.
Dimitri Hill will not try to block that shot. Just play for position.
Got it around. Dimitri makes it home. Had a little soft.
Oh, that was a beautiful
action
shot
on that, huh?
Not only did he have good deployment on the low post, but he realized Grant Hill was coming across and still got it up.
Grant Hill at the other end.
That may be his favorite shot. Driving it to the foul line, pulling up for the jumper.
Back and forth we go. 11 lead changes.
You see Cross, he straddled across the lane. He was actually putting his good ear to Lon Kruger so he could hear what he was saying and still beat the 10-second count. Boy, he rubs off Hill. He'll set some screen, doesn't he?
You're not going to move him around too much.
There they double down on Hill.
Duke got a piece of it. Marty Clark off to the races.
So Clark can go up there.
Yeah, he does. Just like he did in the East Regional. A mighty swat into the stands.
On that one, he had perfect timing and plenty of space to do it. In the Eastern Regional against Howard Isley, he chased him down from 8 feet. Swiped that across the lane.
Officials, timeout.
If any portion of the ball is in the cylinder when it's touched, and there the ball, a portion is in the cylinder and it's touched, that should have been 2 points. But still, a great hustle move on DeClerc's part. The officials didn't see it that way, so Duke will have it.
Clark short on the baseliner. He's looking around. He says, I got hit with the body.
Well, and a body.
Collins launches it.
Collins 0 for 2 from 3. Critical for Duke. When you get a wide open shot from a man who's got that assignment, he's got to bury it.
Here it is.
How about
last
that?
4 games, 1 of 15 now.
Somebody's open.
There he is.
It had to be open because you had 2 men on 1.
DeClerc traveled.
And Thompson, as we said, not a big offensive performer. He had a stretch where he went 8 games without scoring. But he gives you the defense. I'm really surprised that they haven't put Hill down in the low post and try to feed him down there with Brown on him.
Marty Clark drains the 3-pointer.
Jim Clark has been totally ineffective down the stretch here in the NCAA tournament. Did not score in the last 2 games.
Collins almost got the steal. Cross lays it up and draws the foul. 2-shot situation. That foul called, I believe, on Lang. And that's number 3 if it is on Lang.
Lang's going out, and Jim Duke is going to a 3 guards. Well, Marty Clark can move up to play a forward, but the 3 C's are now in the game, and we talked about how important they are to Duke for somebody to step up out of that group, and either as a unit or individually having the big game.
That was the 3rd on Lang, so he's out. And Dimitri Hill replaced by Svein Dirkeboulten.
Game very much as anticipated. The game would probably be played in the low 60s. Neither team gives up many easy baskets.
Ross from Illinois actually shot some hoops, just practicing with Chris Collins of Duke there in the summer.
Yeah, they talked to each other on the phone about getting to the Final Four possibly. And they matched up some. There's where I thought Grant Hill would operate, down in low. 3rd time today.
Steal by Thompson this time. Thompson to the rack, and Clark got him on the arm.
Oh, they calling this intentional? That's ridiculous.
That'll be 2 shots.
Marty Clark went for the block.
2 shots plus possession for Florida.
You see him going directly up here for the block, makes a very nice attempt for the block.
Got a lot of the ball, too.
Sure, this is a terrific play. No business calling that an intentional foul, not even close. Watch this right here. Almost makes a great block.
Thompson will shoot a couple, and Florida will bring it in.
Jim Thompson, just a 47% free throw shooter. Gets 1.
Florida 5 out of 10 from the line.
So you have an interesting situation. DeClerc blocks one down at the other end, very similar, gets a clean block, and not only does Duke not get a clean block out of it, they end up getting an intentional foul call.
Clark was involved in both plays. Here's Thompson. Beautiful pass.
Backdoor cut. DeClerc with that 6'10" height went right over the top of the defense. Florida on a nice run.
They tied it at 29.
You see where you have Grant Hill now down in the low box, but DeClerc's guarding him, and he really has an advantage there, so Grant takes him outside.
Grant Hill. Oh, against Grant Hill, they call it.
Takes the basket away.
No basket.
And the foul. Thank you. You see Grant Hill beats DeClerc. Dirkeboulten comes over.
Tell you, the ball left his hand, Billy, before the contact.
You'll see it right here. There's the crossover dribble by Grant Hill. Dirkeboulten comes over. The good bounce off the glass for Grant Hill. He asked for the basket, and it gets wiped out.
Eric Meekin for Duke.
Solid screen for Brown. He could have taken advantage of it. Dirkeboulten using a big body in there.
Thompson underneath, travel.
Nice job by Meek to come over. We're seeing both teams employing excellent help defense.
Say, Craig Brown, who has been so outstanding in this tournament for Florida, the MVP of the East Regional, he has not scored, but the Gators are tied at 29.
Now he's being guarded by Grant Hill, who held Glenn Robinson to 13, so that's not totally surprising. Last year's IBA Award winner, the best defensive player in the country. Interesting the way Florida changes who's guarding Grant Hill. He hasn't been able to get into a rhythm offensively.
Hill, Meek on the follow. Taylor was a hand in the net, and it's going to belong to Florida.
The net is still up in the rim. That's okay to get it in the net as long as the ball is not in the basket. We'll fix the net, I would hope. I hope that's the referee said. Jim, there was a case where Eric Meek had an opportunity to catch the ball with 2 hands, put it back up on the glass. He made a difficult play out of an easy one. Game's being called very tight now on the inside.
Push-off call against DeClerc, his second. And in for the Gators, Dimitri Hill, along with Marti Kuzma.
See the plays on the inside, setting good screens. DeClerc moving well when he wrapped his hands around the backside, but that's kind of a touch foul. DeClerc very disappointed with it, and probably well should be.
Meek will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Florida over 50%. Look at this. 7 ties, 14 lead changes. Duke's biggest lead was 4. Florida's largest lead, 2. 1-and-1. Meek earns another one.
Jim, that field goal shooting percentage. Michigan State, although they lost to Duke by 9, shot 58% from the floor against Duke. Of course, a big difference in free throw shooting. Duke with 25 for 33 for the foul line. And once again, that's the way that they stay in a lot of games.
Anderson has returned to the Florida lineup. .430 remaining in the first half. The winner plays Arkansas Monday night for the national championship.
There's that matchup you talked about. Hill on Brown.
Whoops, little miscommunication there. Kuzma with Anderson cutting to the basket. And a turnover, the 9th turnover against Florida.
Although Lon Kruger has not taken Florida to this position in the NCAA tournament, he took Kansas State to a regional final back in '88. And that Kansas State club lost to Kansas and Danny Manning. Team that eventually went on to win the national championship. Good hands by Florida.
Brown, though, from behind, has it taken away by Capel. Right back in total chaos from the Gators with Anderson inside.
How often does a coach say to a player on a loose ball, pick it up, don't try to make a play? That's what Meek tried to do. Florida turned it over on him.
Double up.
Great double down by Brown.
Called for traveling. Go to the officials' timeout.
To the ball, nobody gets it. Brown slapped away. Meeks slapped away. Meeks slapped away. Boom, pass inside, a finish. Florida comes up with 2 and puts themselves in the lead by 1.
Florida has 7 steals, Billy. This kid right here has a couple of them. In fact, he has the all-time Florida season mark with 74 coming into this game. Dan Cross.
Well, Jim, we've seen Florida on 4 occasions on a cross-court pass make a steal. That's one of the things that got him here. You just can't go ahead and take that chance. These fellows anticipate too well.
Capel reached in to strip it.
Somebody has blood on their arm? Yep.
Meek.
Referee's got some good eyes to see that. Blood on the knee.
Bring
Newton.
Yeah, Greg Newton in, the freshman from Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Recruited as one of the top players to come out of Canada, maybe ever. Has seen limited playing time this year, needs to probably develop his strength, but he'll certainly be a factor at Duke in years to come. Very aggressive young player.
Hold called on Newton.
Pretty tough to take the ball away from those hands. He has that odd combination of soft hands and yet strong hands. And as I said, Corliss Williamson is a better player, but they both possess an unusual ability for men that size and that strong to have quick feet and soft hands.
Dimitri shooting a 1-and-1. He says he likes Charles Barkley's attitude on the court. He isn't afraid of anything. He's an intimidator. I tell you, this size.
Well, to give you an example, Jim, we talked about the way he plays this game. He only has 5 block shots in the year. I mean, here's a center with a #1 defensive team in the SEC with 5 block shots. He's a position defender.
He's given Florida its largest lead, a 3-point lead with 3 minutes to go first half.
Brown looking for help behind.
Capel with the left hand. And there's Hill with the rebound. Anderson will pull it back out instead of challenging Grant Hill. Kuzma in the lane.
going to work against the Florida club. They're too sound defensively.
Ross.
Oh, the referee never saw the play. It was goaltend that time, so I guess it's all fair now.
Collins, three-pointer. Park saves it. Beautiful save. And they snap it over to Hill on the other side.
He wants some of Hill. Second foul on Newton in a hurry. Jim, I think what happened to the official here, nobody expected Grant Hill to get a piece of this. He goes up, ball on the way down. Referee is ridden right out of bounds. That ball's on the way down. See, it hit the board on the way down. But Grant Hill is unbelievable. We have seen him, remember as a freshman in the Kansas game, that incredible dunk that he made?
Started the game that way. Over the top of the backboard, down in one motion. Voted in Blue Devil Weekly the all-time dunk in Duke history.
I guess that shows you the degree of Blue Devil Weekly. Florida now increasing that lead, got a chance to go up 5. People
wondered how a team and a coach who hadn't been in the Final Four would handle it. They don't seem at all intimidated by the moment.
Well, I think that's because of the quality of the league that they played in. When you look at their team this year, they lost at Arkansas 87-99. They lost to Kentucky twice. They beat Kentucky once. Good wins over Texas and Oklahoma State. And then, of course, their great run here in the NCAA tournament.
Hart on the pass from Hill. Cut into a Florida 5-point lead to reduce it to 3.
Cross really taking advantage of that high screen.
Capel on the wing, three-pointer to tie. Long rebound to the Gators.
And long rebounds are all going to the Gators. They're beating Duke to the spot. Brown really respected Grant Hill defense. I mean, he's not even trying to challenge him when he gets the ball.
Anderson quickly to the basket. Boy, he got right by Capel. He has 6 off the bench.
Cougar getting great minutes out of Kuzma and Dirkabolten here in this first half.
Capel.
Nothing falling for Duke. Nice run for Florida.
Dirkabolten brings down the rebound. Now trying to increase the lead. And going to the line will be Anderson. He's given them some valuable time off the bench.
He really has, Jim. Great eye contact that time between Cross and Anderson. Cross saw him much earlier than this, and Anderson didn't go for the lob, so Anderson kept moving without the ball, knowing Cross would eventually get him. Good two-man basketball.
For Meek, his first 2 shots for Jason Anderson.
Well, Lon Kruger says this is the best athlete he's got on the club. He's had 10 double-figure scoring games, so although he's not a starter, he certainly offensively plays like one.
Well, he'll always remember his first free throw at the Final Four.
Now, he's laughing on that one. He can't believe it.
He looks back, and Greg Brown says, hey, that's okay. A little word of encouragement. Sophomore back to the line for one more. Guarantee that one gets in. Yep. Bring back in Brian Thompson.
So they give up a little offense, but they bring back Thompson for the last minute to play defense. And defense has been the name of the game during this run for Florida.
Florida's largest lead of the game now, 6 points. Capel. Yeah, Thompson all over him. They beautifully defending him.
Exactly. They're giving Duke nothing but tough shots, and with Grant Hill having to play out on the point, he's getting nothing down in the low box. Duke is going to probably have to change their strategy to figure out how to get Grant Hill the ball low.
6 seconds difference on the shot clock to the game clock.
And with Cross out of the game, and that's who they'd like to have the ball right now, but it won't be him. Maybe Brown?
Well, Williams looking around.
They're trying to find Brown. Here he comes.
Thompson. Kuzma gets the rebound. They'll get the last shot of the half.
Kuzma's had a great first half.
Williams finds Thompson slicing in, and he was fouled. Will shoot 2.
Jim, Florida getting great play off the bench. Williams, Jason Anderson, Kuzma doing a terrific job.
Capel with his second. 2.2 seconds to go first half. They held their spring football game down in Gainesville today, and as Craig Brown says, we might have been known for our football teams in the past, but now I think people realize we play a little basketball here too, and for everyone who hadn't seen them until today, the nation knows it now. They have a 7-point lead. Duke will get picked off here before the half on that pass. Brown, they say nope, wouldn't have counted anyway. Duke made only 2 of its last 12 from the field, and the Cinderella Florida Gators.
Antonio Lang back on the floor with his 3 fouls. He sat out a lot of time. But if you're Lon Kruger, you just have to like the way your team played. They're a solid basketball club. They got great production off the bench. They're in the lead without this man right here being an offensive factor.
Florida trying to make it an all-SEC final Monday night.
Florida played Arkansas once this year down at Arkansas. Arkansas the winner. Short! There's another offensive rebound.
Hill open. Florida now with its largest lead of the game. 9-point advantage.
And picked up by a good solid rebound inside by Thompson. Nothing spectacular. This club's like a baseball pitcher that gets everybody out and the guys go back to the bench saying they don't have anything.
Capel, rebound Florida.
And the way that Florida plays close to the vest, Duke cannot afford to get down much more because you don't make big runs against a team that plays this solid a defense.
Ball kicked by Hill. Do keep in mind, though, that Duke has been down 10 points twice in the NCAA tournament, to Marquette and to Purdue, and they came back to win those games. Down 9 here. First minute of the second half.
Cross came back to meet that pass. Almost got away from him. High low. Dimitri Hill posting up down inside again.
Brown.
Oh, good shot. Grant Hill right at him.
Timeout. Mike Krzyzewski and Duke. Double-digit lead for the Gators.
Lost in the crowd is Grant Hill. Ball is rotated. Grant can't fight through the crowd. Brown gets the space. Too late even for Grant Hill. Florida to the biggest lead they've had in the game by 11.
Duke down 11. We mentioned twice they'd been down 10. They came back to win against Marquette and Purdue with those deficits.
Jim, I like the fact, though, that Mike Krzyzewski didn't wait for any TV timeout. He had to get their attention in a hurry. Florida in a position to blow this thing open.
And right in front of the coach, off the fingertips of Capel.
And it went over Mike Krzyzewski's head, and he never moved.
Duke has made 9 field goals and committed 13 turnovers.
I think they've got to try something new offensively to get moving, and that would be to put Grant Hill down low inside.
To Clark.
Everything coming up for Florida.
Second time he's nailed it from there. 2-pointer. He has 8.
Grant Hill down inside. Going to a low 1-4 now.
Hill. 3-pointer.
He's the answer, Jim. They've got to get him the ball and get him the ball low. He spent all day out at the top of the key. He can be defended much easier out there.
To Clark. Hill at the other end with a rebound. Cross bats it right back to him.
Boy, this defense is great.
We'd have to fight for everything. Lang misses the lay-in. Right back up, he'll go to the line. Thompson slapped him.
And Jim, going back last year to the NCAA tournament in the loss to California, Lang played 30 minutes and did not score. today Tony Lang has not been effective. And we talked early on about how the front court of Lang and Parks would have to double the front court of Florida, and they haven't gotten it done.
Well, he had 4 points in the first half, but had to sit out half of the first half. Played only 10 minutes because of the 3 fouls. He'll shoot a couple right now. Averaged 12 a game during the season.
That came off a 19.5 rebound game against Purdue. Made 7 of 13 from the field that day.
Duke comes back with 5 unanswered to cut it to 8.
And they touch their hands to the ground, something we saw in the Christian Laettner years. It was a sign of tougher defense. There's that motion offense of Florida. The Clerk just manhandling Lang inside. Under 10.
Here's Brown. And he gets his own miss. Anderson lays it in.
Second huge offensive rebound, Jim, in the second half. The first one by Thompson led to a score, and that one by Brown.
Bill kicks it out. Collins to Capel. Wide open. Parks. There's
Grant Hill. Oh, boy, does he get hit.
Oh,
and that is why Steve Spurrier said, I think he could play for my team in football. You know, Spurrier, interesting story. Of course, he was a coach at Duke.
And now the Duke head coach, Greg Goldsmith, Spurrier's longtime friend, former assistant. Parks shoot one more.
And you know, Dimitri didn't go out of his way to put Grant Hill down. I mean, that was just a good forearm. Right to the shoulder.
I wouldn't be surprised at the end of his career if Dimitri Hill gets drafted in the NFL.
In the NFL.
Not necessarily the NBA, the NFL.
Again, the wide body. Cherokee Parks makes the decision to go right. Pass is perfectly thrown by Cross. The wide body shields him off.
Parks.
Hill. Great shot. But Hills was done with technique. Cherokee's with height and talent.
Starting to trade baskets now. Anderson open. And Parks read it and stole it. Hill pull up 3.
Ron Kruger has to look at that scoreboard and say, I don't know how long I let him make that run. He has not gone to the bench in this second half, something that worked so well for him in the first half.
Billy, that 13-point lead's down to 5.
Just as I say that, here comes some guys off the bench.
Gets the chance to cut into it even a little more. 7 unanswered they've scored.
Antonio Lang with Hill on him. Hill a little tired now, Jim.
Break opportunity, Gators. De Klerk trailing.
If it goes.
Got it.
How many of those has he finished off today? Excellent hands, and of course that great speed.
He's starting to lose control of it as he went up with it, but
yeah, he loses it maybe twice, Jim, on this play. And again, Cross. Excellent pass. 1, 2, 3. Let's try it. Yes, he did. That was the 3rd touch he had on that one play.
almost got it pinned against the front of the rim and got a chance to re-grab it. No, it almost looked like there it is. This kid. Jim Calhoun at UConn says the Clerk plays every position like it's the final possession. That is, final possession of the game. That kind of intensity.
Another offensive rebound opportunity. Doesn't go. Lang wanted the lob. Dangerous pass.
Batted away there by Dirk Bolton.
Not a good decision by Capel. Would have had to have been absolutely perfect. You notice how Florida starts their guards down in tight in all that mass, and then they pop out.
Cross.
Surprised at the shot selection at this point in the game, Jim. Florida was getting great shots, running their offense perfectly. Last few times down, they've taken shots that were a little suspect.
Collins has come in for Capel. 14:25 remaining. 51-44 Florida. Greg Williams in.
Jim, sometimes Duke making a big run like they have, and they've got to be a more tired team, particularly Grand Hill and Cherokee Parks, than is Florida. Florida's been able to rest their guys, particularly early in that first half. I think Florida's the fresher club.
Hill in the lane. Tips it in.
One of the 3 C's having a pretty solid game.
And one of the 3 seniors.
Well, he was important in another semifinal game to get them there when they beat Indiana as he hit those free throws in the last minute or so. Boy, nice ball faking by Cross.
Williams. They call that a 2-pointer.
Again, Grand Hill spending a lot of time, Jim, out here 25 feet away from the basket.
2-pointer. Chris Collins, one of the 3, but it's a 2. Foot on the line.
Anderson anticipating that Grand Hill would try to drive by him.
Cross working off that pick, comes up short.
Offensive rebound.
Under the basket, out to Collins. Clark coming down on the far side. Collins, good move. Chris Collins for 2.
Excellent move. He was looking to make the pass first, instead took it all the way. Lon Kruger up off that bench, trying to slow his club down, realizing they're not getting as good as shots as they've been getting for a while. Duke looks a little zone here. Yep, they went zone to rest a little bit.
And Lang comes up with the defensive play. Duke needs a 3 to tie. Clark can do it right here. Short. The Clark snaps it over to Williams. And they're going to call Clark for the push-off. Did not take Duke very long, though, Billy, to bring that 13-point deficit down to 3 as we see Clark pick up his 3rd.
But, Jim, even though they've made a tremendous run here,
fatigue.
You're looking at a fatigue factor. Even if it may not be fatigue for the rest of the game, but now you try to get your second win when you make a great run like this. Lon Kruger has been able to patiently sit over there and say, okay, make your run. I'm going to have a fresh club come out and play it.
Some subs have come in. Martique Kuzma for Florida. Eric Meek for Duke among them. Brown's back in. Hill with his famous hook. Coming up short. The foul as Collins was trying to get around Hill. And an official's timeout. Florida 53, Duke 50. Ball arena to this one. I haven't seen it. It is spectacular. It just sparkles here. Duke on an 18-8 run to get back within 3 and with possession.
Florida goes to his zone for the first time in this game. 2-3.
That one was in and out.
Yep. Didn't look like Duke was ready for that zone because nobody really prepared to take a shot against it. Hill had to take it on himself.
Greg Brown, 3-pointer.
Guy that made that was Dimitri Hill. He caught the ball, widened himself out, set the good screen. Grant Hill got stuck. There we see the zone again.
Clark trying to answer the three. He does.
Line driver from right out in front of his face. Big minutes by Marty Clark, the senior.
Hill on the blocks. Brown. Last touch by Meek. Brown was starting to lose control of it. Lang and Capel return for Duke. Collins out along with Meek.
And the one guy who has not come out, I don't believe today, is Grant Hill. Jim, I think back almost, 20 years ago today, the UCLA-NC State game in the semifinals, one of the greatest ones ever played. Bill Walton's club getting beat in a double overtime game. I was looking at that stat. Walton played all 50 minutes, as did Monty Tao and Mo Rivers for NC State. So some guys retired that day. Look at the offensive rebounding.
Swatted away by Parks, but Florida gets it back. They had some chippies underneath.
And he'll want that ball right back. Slaps his hand, say, come on, guys, I'm open inside here.
Speaking of anniversary dates, it was 11 years ago today, that famous semifinal Houston-Louisville game.
One of the best ever played. Who would have ever thought that, 2 nights later, NC State would take it.
Ross, he's 0 for 5 in this half.
Another offensive rebound.
Hawks gets his second block on this trip. Last touch by Duke. Cherokee's specialized in blocks this season, set a Duke mark with 71, including 10 in one game against Clemson.
Here's the block, but Florida able to battle and keep that possession of the ball. They've had a lot of touches here and attempts for Duke to not get it back.
Florida's made 1 of its last 9 shots.
Duke stays in an awful wide matchup zone right here. There should be an opening inside.
There's one outside.
There it is.
He has really cooled off this half. Capel swings it around to Lang underneath.
I wonder how long Lon Kruger will stay in his zone. Now, we haven't seen Duke really have a chance to attack. He came out to give him a little bit different look. I think there's 2 different reasons why the coaches are going zone here. I think in Mike Krzyzewski's case is to slow down things a little bit, let his club rest somewhat in that zone. And Lon Kruger's, it was just to get a little different look. I think he'll go back to man here shortly.
Brett Brown with his first personal. Lang will shoot 1 more to try to get Duke within 1. Billy, we talked about it earlier. Duke lost to Virginia on this floor in the ACC tournament. And then Mike Krzyzewski did not take the bus ride back home with his team. And the seniors, Lang and Hill and Clark, got a team meeting going back on the bus back to Durham.
Great strip.
Clark got it.
From behind. Terrific block by Marty Clark.
Hill, 3-pointer.
Grant Hill did not follow his shot. He would have had the long offensive rebound. It's been 1 and done for Duke, and Florida doing a much better job on the offensive boards.
That was a shot, though, Billy, for the lead.
Yep.
Duke having come back from 13 down in this half.
And they get out of their zone, go back to man-to-man.
Brown dumps it to Kuzma.
Kuzma maybe trying to take a shot there that's not in his repertoire. Florida's shot selection has changed in this second half. First half, wait, the ball was in the hands of the right guy at the right time.
And backing into him, kind of accidentally, was Grant Hill. And he's called for his second.
And again, Dimitri Hill showing those powerful hands of his. Hard to strip him.
Andrew DeClerc returns. Kuzma out. 8 minutes remaining here. Florida 56, Duke 55. Hill and 1.
Oh, he loved it in there. Jim, let's set the stage for Dimitri Hill. In the Rainbow Classic against Louisville, and we've talked about the outstanding play by Rozier on the inside. We'll see Hill again. He had 28 points, 9 rebounds against Louisville. Came right back against Country Reeves from Oklahoma State. Had 20 points there. He's having a huge afternoon here.
More importantly, those two college basketball stars, Rozier and Reeves, combined had only 11 points and 10 rebounds total. You add them up against Hill.
And Hill put his hands down on the floor right now to say, hey, I can do that Duke move.
By the way, Marty Clark at the other end, Billy, got his 4th personal. And Grant Hill, mother and father, love that move.
1-point lead for Florida. Should be arrested Cross. He's had a chance to sit on the bench a little bit and has really cooled off here in the second half. Hasn't been looking for his shot that much.
Going the other way. Called them for traveling. An official's timeout. Florida 58-57.
Well, Jim, in the first half, Duke, as you can see, only shot 36%. In the 5 games they lost this year, they shot under 41. They're coming back right now with a big second half, 50% shooting. Florida doesn't give up 50% very often.
When Duke shoots 50% for the game, they're 13-0 this season.
Tell you another interesting thing. Florida has shot 20 free throws, Duke 19. In the 5 games that Duke lost, as opposed to their great free throw shooting percentage normally, the opponents have shot more fouls than they have. So Florida on track.
Lang with the move. That is now 3 times that Duke has had a chance to take the lead and come up empty.
Clark, that's the shot he's hit earlier.
Oh, this time. He didn't call it.
Jimmy, he had no clue that that ball was going to go in. I mean, that was high, hard, and long.
Capel. The Clark at the other end, Billy.
And Grant Hill doesn't touch the ball on either possession where Duke has a chance to take the lead. It's not a good idea.
Really quick with that one.
That's 0 for 7 for Cross, Jim, second half.
Second half.
Yep.
Hasn't made one. Lang got position, lays it in.
One of the few times that the Clerk did not beat his man to the spot.
And Parks got it into him.
Notice how the Florida guards bury themselves down in the pack, and then they bounce out, picking up all those screens they can on the way.
Inside, Hill. Boy, he made some good moves.
Great
spins out. Duke ball. Hold on.
I think the referee missed that. That ball was touched. Not by Duke last, but by Marty Clark last. You'll see it right here. A nice change by the official. How about that footwork by Dimitri Hill?
Thought he was going to make it.
Yep. And here you'll see Marty Clark's going to get a piece of this last. There it is.
Clark has 4 personals. The Clerk gets so excited even when an official makes a call. He pumps his fist into the air.
Well, that was nice teamwork by the official. One had a better look.
And reach around on Cherokee.
You know, one of the things about guarding Dimitri Hill that must be tough for 7-foot centers is you never have any practice against a guy like this. You know, it's one thing to say, okay, we're going to work on interior defense, and you work against another man about your height. But he goes out there with such a wide body, he catches you on his hip.
Only the first on Parks. Lob to Clerk.
Ball telegraphed on that pass, so Cherokee could get over to stop the lob. See right here, Cherokee saw that one coming all the way. DeClerc had that back screen. It's amazing how many times Florida is able to regain possession, Jim, either with an offensive rebound or a ball that's knocked out of bounds. Getting a lot of different opportunities to shoot it.
They can get some long trips down at one end of the floor.
Goes out too far on Thompson. He's not a guy who's going to shoot from there.
Wow. That one went into the second row.
And when we talk about offensive rebounding today, Florida, Jim, doubling Duke. 15 offensive rebounds to 7. And again, Duke with a chance for a tie or the lead.
That's one reason why Florida shot more free throws.
And now they put the ball in Grant Hill's hands.
So fourth time, Billy, Duke in this half to take the lead. This time they do it, Grant Hill.
Well, I wondered why they didn't put it in his hands the first time.
Marty Clark saves it, steals it, saves it.
All of a sudden, and you see Ron Kruger standing up telling his guys to calm down. Florida making some funny judgments. They go 1-4 again.
Cherokee.
Big miss. He had exactly what Duke wanted on that play. Ron Kruger, twice MVP of the Big 8, tells his guys to settle down.
Brown. Tough shot. Parks firmly takes the rebound.
Both teams having the ball in the hands of quality players and can't get it to drop.
Florida, Billy, at the other end has made only 3 of its last 16 from the field. Duke with the 1-point lead, looking to add to it. Got a piece of Hill. Call it on Thompson.
Do you think we'll see Grant Hill with the ball in his hands a little bit over the next 3 minutes?
I think a little more than that, yeah. He's got 23 points. Going to the... I'm going to say that was a shooting situation. He'll shoot a couple.
It was funny yesterday in the layup drills, and most of the fans that come in free to watch love to watch the guys dunk. Grant Hill put on a spectacular exhibition, and he ran by us and said, you know, I'm getting a little too old for this. Kind of funny coming from a college senior of his stature, but you know, we may not see many college seniors of this stature in the future.
And you've kind of, you know, just seen his career escalate and mature right here at the Final Four. From that freshman year, way short on that one. Freshman year where he slammed it home on that super dunk to the pass in the tournament the next year to Leighton.
And you know what he said to Brown? Are you okay?
Timeout called by Florida.
How about that sportsmanship?
They both hit the floor pretty hard. Hill, 24 points, 13 in this half. Duke back in front. And the arrow belongs to Duke. Blue Devils with 4 starters on the floor. Hill, Capel, Lang, and Parks, and senior Marty Clark. Here's Florida. Florida's lineup right now. 4 starters as well, along with Jason Anderson for Thompson.
Jim, Florida loves to go to Dan Cross in these big key situations. Great block by Grant Hill. He was wide open.
Hill, after he blocked it, released.
Yes.
He was waiting at the other end, but no one saw him. Tough pass inside and taken back by Florida. Brown, three-pointer. Oh, he hit a big one here, too, just like he did at the regional. Florida in front by 1.
Brown's 3 3-pointers. Broke the back of Boston College.
What a 1-minute flurry that was, Billy. Plus a block shot and a rebound against BC in about a 1-minute span. 3 threes and all of that. Capel, three-pointer. That's the 19th lead change of this game.
Now the freshman comes back after making a play that throws it away. Comes back and hits a huge 3. Releases some air out of his mouth after that one. Boy, you're asking Capel to do a lot, too, with that assignment on Cross. Because you know Cross is going to want to take it.
Hill. Rebound for Duke. 2 minutes to go. Duke leads by 2. Anderson on the reach-in.
And Jim, Duke, fortunately, gets 2 shooting fouls by Grant Hill because they are not yet in the 1-and-1. Amazing to see Duke University with 1:55 to go and a half, not in a 1-and-1 situation. Normally by now they're shooting 2.
for Anderson, his 4th foul.
This young man, Grant Hill, the first guy ever in ACC to have 1,800 points, 700 rebounds, 400 assists, 200 steals, and 100 blocks.
Almost kept alive by Parks, but rebound to Florida.
Well, Grant Hill had on the previous occasion one short and that one long. Neither one rebounded by Duke.
Down the baseline, blocked from behind, tipped up by DeClerc. Cuts it to 1, 66-65 Duke.
Real power inside by DeClerc.
1:30 remaining.
And DeClerc slams the floor.
It's been a great game, Billy.
Tremendous game.
To the corner, Clark, jumper. Anderson rebound. Florida has a chance to go back in front.
Jim, Duke on three-point shots is pulling way back and not getting any offensive rebounds because they're not closing the gap. Florida getting all of the offensive boards.
Now with under a minute to go. It was Brown who hit the big shots at the regional. Cross this time was stripped away by Marty Clark. Cross was making his move and Marty Clark made the play.
Now, they will have to give up the ball, will do.
11-second difference. Game clock to shot clock.
Dangerous pass. Cross would have been off to the races with that one.
Grant Hill wants it. Grant Hill has 10 seconds on the shot clock to Capel. Capel in traffic. Big shot. Too strong. Rebound. Parks puts it back in.
One of the few, if not the first, offensive rebound for Duke all day. Charge.
There's the charge. Timeout called by Duke.
From Gillette comes a revolutionary form of antiperspirant protection.
That's the celebration after the big defensive play by Antonio Lang drawing the charge.
Duke basketball at midcourt with 10.8 seconds remaining.
And smart play by Grant Hill. Get rid of the ball. Don't let anybody foul you.
Keep away time. Clark in the corner. Lang right on, finish it off with a dunk. DeClerc 3. Duke comes back from 13. The officials, Jim Burr in his 7th Final Four. Ted Valentine in his 4th straight Final Four. And Jody Sylvester at the Final Four for the 3rd time. And they all drew the championship game assignment. We're underway for the national championship.
Check the matchups. It's Parks on Williamson. And Grant Hill not playing anybody. He's playing a one-man zone, so he's going to let Biley roam free.
Williamson tried to dump it inside. He really impressed us Saturday with his passing. Biley dumps it back in to the big nasty they know him as.
Beautiful block by Parks.
Grant Hill fell right on his rump.
Now, Jim, the last time that we had a major player go down in a Final Four, and there you can see his mom and dad. Calvin Hill just looks up at the sky. It was Bobby Wilkerson in Indiana in 1976. Went down early in that first half of the game, lost for Indiana for the game, but they came back and won a championship. This kid's a tough kid, though.
Just 20 seconds into the game.
You can see the great job defensively by Cherokee Parks. He made Corliss Williamson change the shot. Grant comes down. Not only did he hit on his back, but he hit his elbow as well. Grant's going to have to sit down. He probably move around. He has to come out of the game, or Mike Krzyzewski has to call a timeout. So sub in.
Marty Clark is the sub. 6'6" senior. There he is from Western Springs, Illinois. He gave him 8 points off the bench against Florida and Duke basketball.
And Jim, the reason that was Arkansas's ball is that Grant Hill had the ball in his possession, fell to the floor, his automatic walk.
Capel against Beck. How about that matchup, Billy?
Well, asking a freshman to do a lot against one of the best ball defenders in the country. But here's that 5-second count I talked about. An advantage for Duke and a change in the rule.
Collins back out to Clark. Cherokee. Rebound over to Stewart.
Both teams a little tight.
Grant Hill about to check back in. Here's Williamson. Banging bodies, comes up short.
Oh, great offensive board.
Second try. Capel with the rebound for the Blue Devils.
And Jim, Grant Hill up on the sidelines, ready to come back in. Duke trying to throw cross court, getting a man open.
Lang for the first points.
Cherokee Parks picks up a cheap first foul, something that he can ill afford to do. There's no sense that he should be challenging a Corey Beck in the backcourt. Not a good mental play on his part.
Grant Hill right back in. In for Clark. Here's Biley.
Trying to post up on Grant Hill. Get the advantage Hill there.
Whistle away from the ball. They're going to call it on Dwight Stewart of Arkansas for pushing off.
Now Biley stays in the game. Be interesting to see how long Nolan Richardson goes with the senior. He's on Grant Hill.
Hill has played the point during his career at Duke at times.
Jim, Biley can afford to foul and play very aggressively against Hill. He knows he's not going to get a lot of minutes tonight, so don't worry about chopping him a little bit early. There was one.
Lang underneath. Rejected by Williamson. Ball on the line. It belongs to Duke.
Excellent play by Corliss Williams, coming over to help on the weak side. Perfect timing, but smacks the ball down and out of bounds. Arkansas goes zone out of bounds.
Beck stripped it away. And that pass thrown away by Williamson. Two minutes in, Arkansas without a point, but 3 turnovers. Parks on the blocks. Strong over to Stewart now. Razorbacks running.
Corliss Williamson often beats his man down the floor. He has this time as well. Cherokee doesn't get there in time.
Blitz between Hill and Parks and traveled.
But it's nice when you don't get down floor in time and you have Grant Hill to pick up your man. He can defend any one of 5 positions. Hand checking out here, not called.
Double up, leave Capel open. Freshman launches a 3. 5-0 Duke.
Capel coming off that brilliant performance against Purdue. What put this club in the Final Four?
Tough pass, got away from Biley. Thurman, good shooter. Arkansas on the board with a 2.
Boy, he is so solid. Plays with great composure to Scotty Thurman. I would bet you that they're going to call hand check and hit it. You can tell it coming, Jim. I'm probably a second behind myself there, but this is a good concept by Arkansas. Go ahead and check Grant Hill as much as possible because Biley can afford the fouls.
And they'll bring in Clint McDaniel, who has been a super sub during the NCAA.
If you talk about hand checking, you see right here, he's got 2 hands on him. And right there, without question, he gets called for it, but probably part of the assignment.
Beck. He'll take it to the paint. Good move.
Beck does not look to shoot enough, according to Nolan Richardson, and you can see he has the ability with that power body that's trimmed down to 190 from 220 to do it.
Great dish. Capel to Hill. Freshman with the assist. Hill's first points. Capel did not have an assist against Florida, but a beautiful one that time.
Backcourt had one assist the entire game. Park so far has altered Williamson's shot on 2 occasions inside.
He'll do that to you, Billy. He's had a knack for blocking shots all season, setting a Duke single-season mark. Had 10 in one game this year against Clemson. Backing in, Williamson tipped it in the second time.
Corliss so quick on the second leap for a man taking that much up in the air. Much as Charles Barkley does. He doesn't like to think of himself as Barkley. He likes to think of himself as Larry Johnson. Either one pretty good.
Collins to the corner. Hill has it stripped. Thurman.
Great defensive play.
Good passing. Williamson to Stewart. That's what we talked about early, Billy. Corliss showing some really great passing skills here at the Final Four.
And not only makes them when he's in the low post, at times he made it on a break. Had 5 assists against Arizona.
Daniel almost stripped it. Here's Collins coming up short.
Arkansas showing a style of play today more like the 40 minutes of hell. When they go small, they're quick.
Beck did not challenge Hill with the shot. Arkansas basketball. The Razorbacks have taken their first lead here at 8-7. Couple of coaching masters through the years. That's Jack Gardner on the left, Ray Meyer on the right. Jack Gardner coached in 4 Final Fours, Billy. 2 for Kansas State, 2 for Utah, and he's been to all of them.
Been to 56 Final Fours in person. And you talk about a coach never getting tired of coaching. I was at Mass with Ray Meyer on Sunday, and he said, if I had Arkansas's talent, I'd like to be back out there on the bench.
Doesn't get out of your blood, that's for sure. Lang with the hoop. He goes over now with that basket, over 1,000 on his career, the 40th Duke player ever, which is tied for the most with North Carolina.
There's that 3-point shot of Stewart's.
Lang up and over, McDaniel for the rebound. Duke on a break. Capel traveled first. Took a little extra skip, Billy.
And Jim, the reason that he did, and Corliss Williamson does not get enough credit for this. I have not seen a man of his size go from offense to defense and vice versa as quick as he does. He gets back on defense and he beats you down court on offense, and he forced that walk. Another solid screen call. Second solid screen called on Arkansas today, and there's Williamson holding his ground, just taking Lang out of the way.
So that's actually called on Williamson. And Marty Clark is in.
So we have a change by Mike Krzyzewski. We'll talk about the battle of the wits. He's gone with Marty Clark for more minutes. Collins out of there. He now goes big with Meek in there to give Cherokee Parks a rest. Meek not capable of giving the inside offense to Duke.
What does that tell you about Parks?
Oh, I just think that Mike's trying to rest him as long as he can with his score close.
That's called on Grant Hill.
The game, Jim, is an adjustment the players and the coaches have to make. The game is being called very tightly by the officials. So both the coaches and the players have to make a quick adjustment here. Keep your hands off.
Underneath, Beck on the blocks.
Second time today, Beck has taken a guard into the hole, once on the break and now in the low post.
Beck, the player, Nolan Richardson says, if he had an NBA team, he'd be the first guard I'd take because he knows how to win and how to make other people win. Clark, three-pointer. And there's Beck at the other end, Billy.
Great rebound.
Too long on the pass, however. The player that reminds me the most of myself, says Coach Richardson.
And there you see the pass. At this stage in the game, worth the attempt because Arkansas wants to get this tempo going a little quicker than it is right now. Now Duke goes big with Meek and Parks in the game at the same time, and Nolan Richardson counters by bringing in Robinson.
Parks back, Darnell Robinson, freshman in, 44 for Arkansas. There's Parks with position.
Good hand control by Parks. Scotty Thurman had a piece, but not strong enough to take it away.
Tip by Hill, and a hold call broke away the chance for Duke to get a fast break bucket.
I said the referees are calling hand checking tight. That's Parks' second foul, both cheap variety. The players have to be aware of the way the game's being called.
McDaniel, three-pointer.
That's a big turnaround for Duke. They were off on a fast break. They end up getting a foul and hitting the three.
Parks backing in, sets up Collins. Open three-pointer. Parks tipped it. Robinson chases it down. He was on the line when he corralled it into corner. Duke basketball. Collins misfiring, Billy. He's on a real cold streak right now.
He really is, Jim. He had 20 points in the first round game against Texas Southern, and since that time has not been able to find the mark at all.
Lang returns. There you see it, 1 of 17. Lang back in for the Devils.
Grant Hill has not really gotten settled in as to what he wants to do offensively as a scorer. Own defense.
That's called on Alex Dillard, who has come in. Little guy they call Grandpa on the team. 6'1" junior from Alabama, age 25. He's the third leading scorer for the Razorbacks. He fired up 7 threes in the semifinal as Lang hits from the inside.
How about that? Both teams scoring off inbounds plays.
Let's see if Dillard gets a chance to shoot it. Again, he shot 7 the other night and made 2 of them. Robinson. Hill got a hand on it, and it's going against Arkansas.
Robinson surprised at Grant Hill with his tremendous defensive ability. I said he can play 5 positions. There he stopped the center.
Officials timeout. Game's tied.
Thurman has to be aware of what's behind him. Now watch, Lang goes inside. Robertson has his eyes away from the basket, and the bounce pass goes right in behind for an easy basket. He doesn't see where the men are. Behind him comes Lang. Easy 2.
Lang has 6 points for Duke. Some say, Billy, as Lang goes, so goes Duke.
Well, I think he has to stay in the game. He's got to play a 30-minute game. And there's one that Mike Krzyzewski wanted.
Collins with a three-pointer at the other end. Clark batted it in. Made some play to get down court.
But how about Williams? Does he run the floor or not? He goes 80 feet as fast as any man his size I've seen, and he really makes an effort to get down there.
No one beats him down to the offensive end. Clark. Solid minutes off the bench again.
Then Marty Clark came into the Final Four, had not scored in the 2 previous games in the regional, came up big against Florida.
Turnover, McDaniel threw it away.
Marty Clark smacks it, reverberates off the board, and with a proper spin goes in.
Davor Rimac is in from Croatia. He was an exchange student in high school and spent his junior year living at the Richardson House in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Could not live at the house his senior year because then he was being recruited by Arkansas.
Recruitable athlete. Father a coach in Europe. And an outstanding tennis player, Jim, as well. Won the state tennis championship in Arkansas. This is not a good idea for Lang to challenge out here against the Clippers. Just too quick for him.
McDaniel reached around. His first.
Jim, McDaniel has great hands, great footwork. Not a good idea for Antonio Lang to challenge him out in this area. And you can see McDaniel doesn't quite get there. The next foul for Arkansas, as you can see, puts Duke in that 1-1 already. One of the trademarks of their team. There's the 2-3 zone.
We're approaching the midway point of the first half with Duke leading by 3. Lang sets it up corner. Collins. Meek with his 4th rebound. No call. Lang tries to save it, and that's a double dribble. Travel.
That was a smart play by Antonio Lang, though, Jim. He realized that maybe he could make the great play by saving it, but if he was wrong, Arkansas would have been off to the races on a fast break.
Cherokee back. Capel also. The 2 starters in for Clark and Meek.
We're better off having that type of turnover than having a turnover that leads directly to an easy basket.
Robinson lobs it. Beck, he's got a tower right over him. Parks. Parks gets the rebound. Altered the shot and pulled down the board. Capel looking for help. He finds it in Lang. And now Arkansas has tied its largest deficit of the entire tournament. They're down 5. McDaniel.
Jim, Arkansas has got to get back to getting that ball down to Corliss Williamson. All of a sudden he hasn't touched it. That is their game. Lang thinks he can take Robinson. You know what? With the dribble.
Cutting through McDaniel. Right back Capel. Corner. Collins. 3. Remots on the wing. McDaniel.
Beck is on the floor. Got a chance for numbers here, but Duke does not want to run.
Grant Hill, 11 minutes into this game, Billy, has 2 points. And a blocking foul called against Lang. Tried to set a pick over here.
3rd blocking call of the night. 2 against Arkansas, 1 against Duke. So no sense at solid screens. They're going to be called tight.
Thurman back. McDaniel out. Lee Wilson in for Williamson. Wilson, 6'11", freshman from Waco, Texas.
Nolan Richardson going to that bench with some unusual combinations here early, Jim.
Stewart also back in, his high school teammate at Fairleigh High School in Memphis, dribbling the ball right now. Corey Beck.
I have not seen this team on the floor for Arkansas so far in the tournament.
Stewart, turnaround. Tipped up by the freshman Wilson, who just entered the game.
The Duke bench wanting offensive goaltending. They don't get the call.
Grant gives it up. Good time. Parks and 1.
Now, Jim, you mentioned about Grant Hill's point production, but once again, he shows his versatility. The shot goes up by Stewart. We'll see if Wilson gets a piece on the rim. Oh, I believe he did. And there's Grant looking at the basket, freezing Wilson inside, so he gets caught a step on Parks and can't get back in time.
First on Wilson. Parks in his 100th game at Duke. Schooled as a freshman by Christian Laettner. He hated him that year, Billy, but now they're friends, and he realizes how much Christian really helped him out.
Well, Christian, one of the all-time competitors, and just challenged him every day.
Thurman with a sweet jumper on the side.
All-SEC performer 2 years in a row. Freshman of the year last year in the league. Certain to be an All-American before he gets out of Arkansas. There we see the zone matching up with a lot of traps. Be interesting to see if Duke tries to get Grant Hill on the foul line against this zone.
Marty Clark, corner, way short.
Perfect pass, though.
Lang on the line.
It wasn't a pass, an intended pass, but it was a perfect pass and surprised Cherokee Parks.
That young man, Antonio Lang, has 8 points, and Duke has a 3-point edge. 2 attempted. Field goal percentages in the 40s. Among those here, Kevin Costner, wondering whose court of dreams this would be tonight. Arkansas or Duke playing for the title.
Lang on Thurman, and that puts Grant Hill on Stewart. Now what Mike Krzyzewski wants here is for Grant to be available to go cover somebody else, but this is a tough thing to do because Stewart has that great three-point shot. You can't get away from him too much.
Remots got a pick to help clear the shot. Duke almost tipped it in. Stewart once. Stewart again. Good play by Dwight Stewart.
He and Wilson played volleyball with it up there against Duke. Again, Arkansas traffic.
They leave Clark open. Lang tips it out over to Wilson.
Wilson giving some solid minutes to Nolan Richardson here tonight.
Rebound to Grant Hill.
Again, without Williamson in the game, Arkansas not really getting into the flow with their normal half-court offense. And Duke not getting the ball in Grant Hill's hands in scoring position.
Cherokee, that's what you call scoring position.
The bounce pass by Capel right on the money. Duke is getting penetration through that matchup zone that's a little bit too easy.
That strained tendon in Cherokee's left knee doesn't appear to be a factor right now.
There's the shot.
Stewart will step in for one.
Jim, it shocked me that Stewart did not take the three. Here's Cherokee getting his steps, good position, sits down, catches the ball, realizes it could be blocked, so dunks. Tried to pick up the foul as well.
Corliss Williamson in for the Razorbacks. 5:50 remaining in the first half.
Jim, they go 1-3-1 zone, so Nolan Richardson's showing us a little bit of everything.
That leaves Capel open. He's hit one already. Too strong. Wilson with his 4th rebound off the bench.
Beck trying to push it up to get some tempo started for his team.
Thurman.
Lang's open. But look at who's back. Williamson. What a runner.
Who tried to go behind the back.
Hit his foot. Jimmitt came back and hit Capel in the foot. This is a sensational defensive play by the man we've been talking about, who gets down the court on both ends. You can see Capel tried to make a big play that wasn't there. Made the behind-the-back pass against Purdue that was effective. That one not a good idea.
Wilson leans in. 4 points, 4 rebounds. Not the production they didn't necessarily expected from this man, this freshman.
Well, Jim, we talked about the bench. Nolan Richardson has supreme confidence in every guy on that squad. He doesn't mind using them for extended periods.
He says, I don't want anyone to ever think we're predictable. Here's Hill, hacked on the shot by Beck. First on Beck.
And Jim, to give you an idea about how Nolan Richardson uses his team, there are 4 players on Duke's squad that average more minutes per game than any player on the Arkansas squad.
No one on Arkansas even averages 30 minutes a game.
Corliss Williamson at 28-9, the most of anybody. And their 3rd leading scorer, Dillard, only averages 12 minutes a game.
Hill, who talked about this weekend how he wants that 3rd championship ring, so we'll have one more than Leitner and Hurley. He says, I can brag about it when we go to the beach this summer. They all reunite every summer at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. He says, I want to be the one there with 3 rings.
Good rebound by McDaniel. Boy, he's got quick feet. Come on. Williamson getting position on Grant Hill.
Williamson inside. Duke had Parks and Hill around him, but they fed it in there just in time.
I love that Williamson took that challenge of Grant Hill and just handled him inside. Here's the 1-3-1 trap again.
Lang open.
Beautiful passing by Hill. Lang showing his experience, Jim, knowing where the holes are in that zone.
Hill stripped it outside, and Capel ready. Here comes Capel. Beck challenging. Capel.
Terrific job by the freshman because Corey Beck is a tremendous defender.
And the Duke team slaps its hands on the floor for an extra lift of defense. Blocked. Williamson knocked the Duke player down. Knocked down Parks, but he banks it home. 29-27 Duke.
How about the timing of that block by Lang, Jim?
Ooh. Capel fired it in the corner. Officials timeout, and here's the play by the freshman point.
And he knows Beck's behind him.
He was on the mound earlier today, throwing out the first pitch in Cleveland. Here's a guy who knew a thing or two about being on the mound, Sandy Koufax.
A Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time. Looks like he's got a nice tan, nice and relaxed. Not like the hitters that used to have to face him.
Beck.
Jim, I don't know if I've seen Corey Beck be this aggressive offensively in the first half of the game in a while.
Game's tied at 29.
Grant Hill posting up down low.
Capel.
He had Stewart on his hip. Terrific extension.
Meek now trying to defend Williamson.